I'm Dale Phillips, and I live on the southwest side of Columbus. And
Mr. Phillips, would you please bring your mic up a little bit? Thank you.
I live on the southwest side of Columbus, and I'll try to stay pertinent to the points here. I'll touch on de-escalation, use of force policies, diversity, recruitment, and retention. But I think I would be remiss if I didn't also address the extreme lack of integrity of Columbus police officers and the justice system in general, which is a reason that I think it should be mandatory that Columbus police have dash cams and body cams that are continually on, not on just when the patrol car hits the lights or something. And furthermore, discipline should be in order for any time an officer makes an excuse that the cameras were not on. First off, I'll address de-escalation, which I have not seen from CPD. I've usually witnessed the opposite from Columbus police officers, in which they do more to escalate a situation than to de-escalate it. Innocent citizens who in a Columbus police officer's mind is suspicious are harassed, and when the person stands up for their rights and doesn't want to talk, it hurts the officer's ego. Now, don't you love how the police think that any random thought popping into their head makes you subject to their authority? So officers then escalate situation, call for backup, and feel they have the right to put their hands on you over a truly innocuous situation. Too many citizens have been gained and brutalized for innocuous events. I see this as predatory and definitely unconstitutional practices, but it seems to be endeared by CPD. For example, Zachary Rosen, who participated in the murder of Henry Green, was never held accountable for that murder and was caught on camera approximately 1 year later stomping the head of a suspect who was prone on the ground, handcuffed with one officer on his back. Even after this egregious act, Police Chief Kim Jacobs felt he was a good officer and didn't need to be fired, which brings me to this point. If the head of CPD is miscreant and condones delinquent officers, then it is only logical to expect that the officers of CPD will be of the same deportment. Rosen would have never been fired if it was up to her, but now he has his job back, even though he was fired. CPD's long-standing practice of stopping citizens without any violations of law has never ceased. The arresting of people without violations of law has recently come to light in Stormy Daniels' arrest, and more tragically, with a young woman named Donna Castleberry was murdered by the Columbus police. After all this, we always hear the same pitiful prevarications by Columbus PD in attempt to cover up and make themselves appear guiltless. Sadly, prosecutors are on the same page as they refuse to prosecute bad cops but are sure enthusiastic to prosecute a citizen even for the obvious false arrests. This must change in order for anyone to have trust in the legal system. One last thing on diversity and retention. CPD Chief Jake,
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.